Hi, and welcome to Happy Kitty Kitchen. Today I'm making my shorter version of a chicken pot pie. It's got all the flavors and half the work that goes into a classic chicken pot pie. I'm using footage from a different video here just to begin, but it's basically the same. I need to make my chicken and vegetable stock, so I start out by searing the pieces of chicken in a hot pan with olive oil, and you can use whichever neutral oil you prefer. My chicken stock recipe always changes a little based on what I have available, but the vegetables that I must have are always onions, carrots, and garlic. If I have dried mushrooms or regular mushrooms, leeks or celery, I love to add those in too because they're flavor boosters. I also prefer to sear the chicken in the beginning, then top it with water and let it cook on a medium heat for 45 to 60 minutes instead of high heat. I believe that makes the chicken softer and juicier instead of dry, tough, and chewy. Check the biggest piece of chicken to see if it's cooked through, and if it is, start separating the chicken from the vegetables. It's also important to take out the cinnamon bits and the bay leaves because those don't blend well. I'll take out the big pieces of vegetables, which I will blend with the liquid to make a more concentrated vegetable stock. And of course, I have to taste everything to check for salt levels and flavors, so I know how to adjust accordingly. After removing the chicken meat from the bones, I give them a rough chop. And for the stock, now in a blender, I have the big vegetable pieces, and I will use a mix of the liquid in the pan and some water because I know the flavor will turn out too intense if I just add the liquid in the pan. So I need to water it down. And voila, thick vegetable stock. Now back to the original pot pie footage. I've made the stock a day before and haven't filmed the process, and that's why I used that other footage. But here it is, same as the previous footage. I separate the chicken from the vegetables, and I'm going to debone the chicken and blend the vegetables with the liquid, which, if you're wondering why it has thickened up and become gelatinous, that's actually a good thing. Don't worry, because that is the gelatin extracted from the chicken bones and skin, which is rich in collagen and very healthy for you. For this stock, I blended using a hand blender, which doesn't blend as smoothly as a standing blender, so I just like to sift through the liquid to get any bits and chunks out. Now to make the filling, I add butter and olive to a pan and throw in my onions. These onions are not enough, mind you, so I am chopping and adding in more in just a bit. I also add my sliced mushrooms and mix them around. I added in some more butter because the mushrooms looked a bit dry. I add in about a heaped tablespoon of all-purpose flour and mix it in. We'll need to let it cook for about 5 minutes to remove any raw flour taste. I've got my carrots and courgettes chopped and ready, which I know courgettes don't go in chicken pot pie, but I had them on hand and honestly, they don't ruin it, they actually add in a nice bite. I did add in a bit of the blended vegetable stock here only because my pan was getting really hot and I needed to deglaze it fast. If you've got a non-stick pan, you won't run into this issue, but just in case you didn't know, adding in a splash of stock, water, or basically a liquid that is meant to be in the recipe to an extremely hot pan while sauteing will cool down the pan and keep things from burning and give you more time to cook without worrying. Once I've got my pan deglazed from the brown bits, I add in my shredded chicken and canned corn because I'm basically done now. I'm going to top it with a drizzle of heavy cream, a bit of salt, and more vegetable stock and mix everything, then give it a taste. After I switch off the heat, I like to add in chopped parsley just because I don't like cooking down my parsley too much. I've got my puff pastry sheets, which I took out the freezer. I would recommend that you wait 15 minutes for them to soften before handling them. It just makes it easier. The reason I use these square puff pastry sheets is because they're always available at the supermarkets, whereas finding a large roll of puff pastry is a very rare thing in the supermarkets around me. They're never in stock when I want them. But it's okay because I found a way to make it work and make it look presentable even. By cutting the squares and playing a bit of food Tetris, I poke some holes at the bottom to keep the pastries from puffing up too much and to aerate the sheets and help them cook evenly. Bake at 200 degrees Celsius for 10 to 15 minutes or just enough until they are puffed and golden brown. Then put in the chicken filling and top up again with more pastry sheets and back in the oven they go. You can personalize this and change this recipe to suit your preferences whichever way you like. If you don't like carrots and courgettes, don't add them. If you want cubed chicken, by all means get boneless chicken breasts and chop them up and cook them before making this filling. If you don't have the time to make stock from scratch, no problem. Replace the vegetable stock with chicken and vegetable stock cubes that are dissolved in water instead. There are many ways you can make it easier for yourself. You can even buy rotisserie chicken and shred it. But I essentially just wanted to show you the method. I will, however, say that it makes a huge difference to make the vegetable stock and chicken stock from scratch. It just tastes so much better when it's fresh and it's healthier for you. And not to forget, it's economical as well. It's much cheaper to do it from scratch. Anyway, if you've made it this far into the video, thanks for watching and have a great day from Happy Kitty Kitchen. Bye!